Michael Goldstein of LAN Infotech in Fort Lauderdale is not new to doing good, but this avid sports fan has been stepping up his game during COVID and is quickly becoming an MVP, the most valuable partner in helping businesses and nonprofits pivot during this pandemic.
Just like my clients, we had the same fear. How am I going to pay my bills? Are people going to pay me? I think the first month, I remember it was probably mid-April when I actually started seeing checks come in. I had some faith that we'd all survive, financially, of course. But we really wanted to give back. We were flooded with our hundreds and hundreds of clients figuring out how they can continue working.
At the heart of the problem, business owners, organizations, and their employees all working from home on devices not suited to handle security standards.
Our biggest challenge in the past year really has been cybersecurity. Breaches, ransomware, viruses. We controlled that environment when they were in the office. Now, on the example fourth grade computer, I can't control everything that's out there. Clients are reluctant to put security software on there. They don't want to restrict the learning, and it's just not their computer. We ended up calling it the ghost office experience, where many people didn't have equipment at home, but they had equipment in the office. So we set up remote access for them. So they were taking their home computers to take over their office computers.
Michael quickly had his team certified in Zoom, Microsoft Teams, and other networking platforms to give struggling companies the help they needed.
We just started writing down our tips and tricks. One of our 5th or 6th webinar is things that we've learned in the 5 or 6 that we did before so that other organizations can get this out successfully. The Bar Association was probably our biggest start. At the bar, it's the Broward Bar Association, they started expanding, and one of our second or third events, we had over 500 people with bar associations all across the state.
The whole legal world, not only in Broward, but in the state, came to a halt. You have to understand that the legal community is very reserved and conservative, and the idea of this virtual world of conducting business online sounded absolutely ridiculous at the time. Since we were able to pivot so quickly and start to bring education in all aspects of the practice of law for all types of practitioners, we buoyed all of these attorneys across the state. I would say we did over 150 plus webinars in the calendar year, starting from that second week of March to the end of December. And we serviced over 11,000 attorneys in the state of Florida. That's a lot of people online. And that's because of what I learned working with Michael.
For multiple chambers of commerce, Michael Goldstein and LAN Infotech were the go-to crew for guarding the city's software.
We're a membership organization, and without having our members connected, that would have been a fiasco. And so for us to be so proactive in a short period of time to within hours turn this organization around so that we could adapt to the new world of digital platforms was just incredible. We were able to continue all of our events, all of our networking and our education and training, and as fast and furious as the information was coming, even from the government side. LAN Infotech has provided all this information and hands-on approach. His entire team is involved with all of our programs with no cost, no fee at all. And that has been essential because I can't imagine what that would have cost us in a pandemic. Eventually, what will happen is he will get paid moving forward because everyone sees the value in what he's brought to the table. We're just very lucky and fortunate to have LAN Infotech as a wonderful partner.
Raylan Barlow of the National Leadership Institute is a board member matchmaker. She has looked to LAN Infotech for years. When the pandemic struck, she knew exactly who to call.
Our team at National Leadership Institute has been a LAN fan, if you want to call it that, a LAN Infotech fan for many years. And then when COVID came along, they were the folks that we really turned to when we had questions, we needed answers, how to pivot virtually in a COVID world. And they stepped up to the plate. They've offered free LinkedIn trainings to nonprofits. They've offered Microsoft Teams training. They've come in and presented to our nonprofit groups, to our audience, on everything from cybersecurity to tech tools that are new and different. And then they gave us the gift program, the grant database that they provided for several years now, and offered their staff to help nonprofits search for grants. One thing that's been huge for us since COVID is National Leadership Institute now offers a technology tool called Board Match Now. And the folks at LAN Infotech have been so supportive of it. They know, like we know, that nonprofits don't often use technology as much as they should or could. So they've been behind us all the way in Board Match Now, helping us develop the product so that we can bring it to the South Florida community and use it as a true community connector.
The Gilda's Club South Florida also benefiting from LAN Infotech with not only cybersecurity, but their signature events.
Michael realized very quickly that a lot of the small businesses were struggling. On the fly, we had to not only figure out how we were going to provide our services to people who needed them. At Gilda's Club, there was no option of closing our doors and not providing services. And so everything that we did in person on the first day of March, by the 15th of March, we were doing online. Gilda's Club South Florida was named in honor of Gilda Radner, one of the original 7 cast members of Saturday Night Live, who died very young of ovarian cancer. And her dream was that one day there would be a community of support. And after her death, her husband, Gene Wilder, created that community. And that's what Gilda's Club South Florida is. And we provide support to cancer patients. We're a nonprofit, so many people step up to help us and volunteer without payment. But Michael was in a business that people were drawn through in the pandemic because they needed technical support and they needed technical tools. And I really appreciate the fact, and it speaks a lot of Michael's character, that he was willing to help a nonprofit succeed without asking for anything in return. We raised approximately $140,000. It was our 25th anniversary event, and we wanted nothing more than to do this event in person and see people who have supported us for 25 years. And we just couldn't do that safely. And we relied on LAN Infotech to provide the technical support to help pull this off. And it was significant support that was needed for the platform that we used. It was very sophisticated, and we couldn't have done it alone.
I really feel that, you gotta give back, and this is how we can give back.
Now that Michael Goldstein has successfully helped thousands work from home, he's laser focused on the next challenge.
Now that people were at home, how do we bring them back? Whether you hadn't touched your computer for months, which just causes problems that are out there. Now maybe you had a new computer, maybe you walked and bought a retail computer. It was in the home environment, and now how do we get it back to the office? So you have to really rethink your business continuity plan and look at cyber. If you're using something 7 or 8 years old, we can't get support on it, we can't get parts on it, and as we're saying, sometimes there's a delay on getting product. So think about your strategy, evaluate what you have, and more importantly, think about talking to your employees about some cyber awareness training, because they're your key. You lose your key, you want to go out there and replace the locks. But in this place, we're only as good as that, weakest link in the chain. And right now, employees are that weakest link in the chain, cyber-wise. As technology changes, as we've seen during the pandemic, companies like Microsoft and Zoom and Dell and Lenovo have been putting rapid fire of changes out there. And even more today, that we have to keep ourselves up with technology. We want to be your technology partner. We want to understand your business. We're not there just to sign that contract every year.